Why B&J? Well, simply because we're the best. 34 years of quality service, that's why. Well, my name is Zana Ben Rahman. My role here at B&J is being the petty course director, which means I'm training the next generation of dive professionals from dive master all the way to instructor levels. I'm also the operational director overseeing all training activities. I look after the boats, the resort. So that's really my role, and I've been doing that now for 34 years, and yeah, I just love that. Well, B&J started actually as Ben's Diving Center. We started in '86 when my dad decided to leave Germany and to come over to Malaysia. And we always had the passion and the dream of actually setting up a dive center because we were diving actually already in Germany. So once we established a dive center, initially in Nazi 1, we then moved over to Salang where we actually operated the initial 18 years, and then later on we moved here to ABC. So then we had actually 2 operations. So during that time, I was pretty much the all-rounder. I was running the show from driving the boat, filling the tanks, guiding the divers, teaching the divers. It was I wouldn't say a one-man show, but it was a small show. At the time, my young brother was assisting me at times. This is already in about '92 that with the introduction of the Lonely Planet, that Tioman really catapulted into the scene of all the travelers, and this is where suddenly we were just seeing this huge influx of foreigners. Those days we would call them backpackers, globetrotters, and they all wanted to dive because Tioman is 10th most beautiful island, but it has an amazing coral diversity and fish life, so it's outstanding. So this is what actually drawed in all these tourists. It was more the Western Europeans that came here. Then over the years, I was joined by my partner Jean-Claude. He's a Swiss man, really good. The J actually in B&J stands for Jean-Claude, B for Ben. And he was with me for about 18 years. He then eventually he married a wife, got 2 kids, and then he decided that he wanted to go back. But my new partner now, Martin Ritter, who is the marketing director, he took over, but B&M does not sound right. So we just stuck with the B&J. It's a brand that people know, and when people talk about Tioman, people talk about B&J.
I'm Martin Ritter. I'm from Switzerland. I'm a Paddy Master Scuba Diver trainer and also one of the owners of B&J and Tioman Dive Resort. I am the marketing and sales director. Pretty much arranging marketing as well as sales for the company, which is online based as well as offline based, be it exhibitions, be it that we participate in online travel fairs to bring the local market as well as the international market to experience this beautiful island of Tioman and the underwater world that we have here. But not only that, also the fun that we bring across and the safety aspect that is very strong within our company as well. B&J and Tioman Dive Resort have been there for a very long time. Actually, B&J was already open in 1986. And from the start, it was important to us that we go beyond just what PADI wants or other dive organizations want. We want to provide safe diving, fun diving, and at the same time protect the underwater world. We are providing recreational as well as professional diving. In recreational diving, we are providing all courses from the very beginner level all the way up to rescue diver or even master scuba diver. Whereas in the professional level, we focus on PADI dive masters, but also instructors. We are a 5-star IDC facility, which means that we are an instructor development center that builds new instructors for the world of diving. For Malaysian standards, we are considered quite large dive centers. We operate 3 dive boats, of which 2 are speed boats that can hold up to 20 divers, and the other one is a bit slower wooden boat where we also have a sun platform, again for some 20 divers. We also have facilities like a swimming pool so that those who learn diving can start in the comfort zone of a pool first before they venture into the open ocean, where we can conduct shore dives right in front of our dive centers, where there's a beautiful house reef in very shallow waters, and where I, for instance, saw a turtle today. So it's really fantastic for everybody to experience. Apart from that, we have our Tioman Dive Resort, where we have very comfort rooms, not only for couples or single travelers, but also for those that come, for instance, with a family, because you have double sharing rooms, twin sharing rooms, triple sharing, as well as quad sharing rooms. And those who are on a tighter budget can even stay in our dormitory rooms that can sleep up to 5 persons.
So I did my dive master in 1990. The following year I became a PADI instructor. 95 I became the PADI master instructor, which at that time was considered the second highest rating in the PADI family. I had this passion for teaching. I had this passion for passing on my knowledge, showing people the beauty of the underwater world. I was so patient. People love me. People love taking courses from me. And until today, unfortunately, I don't teach many open water classes anymore. I'm more into teaching technical courses, the pro levels. But even there, I'm really passionate about making sure that the next level, the next generation, it just, you pass it on. So you really want them to do the same that I did. So it trickles down. So that's been my role all this while.
An important part of our marketing strategy is not only to be present on social media, but also to see the people directly. And how we do that is by participating in various exhibitions, maybe local, in Malaysia, for instance, the Mata Fair, the MID, the Malaysian International Dive Exhibition, or the DRT, the Dive Resort and Travel Show. But also internationally, closest being Singapore with the famous ADEX, the Asian Dive Exhibitions, where we also actually go to Hong Kong or recently to Beijing. But that's not far enough for us. So we also ventured to Australia, we ventured to the UK, to the dive show, or even to the United States, to the famous DEMA show, to attract divers from all over the world to this beautiful heaven of ours.
Well, we need to go back in time a little bit, because in the early stages of B&J, it was mainly the Western European markets. We're looking at Sweden, Germany, English, Swiss, and so on. And for them, the Bible, it was the Lonely Planet, and it was describing the tour where to go. And we had this really prominent page in it, so everybody came to Tioman.
When we go to the domestic as well as international fairs, then we of course wanted to offer our dive product on Tioman Island. And it's very interesting to see that domestically, Malaysia, Singapore, There's a lot of new divers in the market that are looking for the PADI open water course, or possibly the second level like the PADI advanced open water course. Whereas when we go to international shows, it's very clear they just want to come and dive. They want to come and see the beautiful reefs that we have to offer around Tioman Island, the marine life, the reef formation, just the beauty that we have in this little paradise of ours.
So with this clear water, amazing corals, diversity, yes, it was logic that people wanted to learn how to dive and explore deeper and further. It was only about 20 years later that in Asia, people were making more money. The middle class was expanding, and people started to enjoy. And this is when suddenly we had Malaysians, Chinese, Indians, locals. They came to us, first of all, because of our reputation. I think we have a reputation in this industry as being firm, knowledgeable, safe, and thorough, because we don't believe in shortcutting. We believe in doing quality education. People pay top dollar. We should give top dollar education. And this is still today when we go to exhibitions, people will always come to our booth. People will always prefer to come to us, get a good education rather than going to a place where maybe it's 100 or 200 ringgit cheaper. That's not the idea. They want a certification so they know, yes, I'm a competent, safe diver. Now currently our local market is about 60%, and foreign market is 40%. So we can see there's a huge trend in Malaysia among young Malaysian professionals that they enjoy water sports, and it's good to see. It's great to see because they also travel, not only come to Tioman, but they go to other locations.
The environment, especially the marine environment, has been very important to all of us since the beginning, literally, of B&J. And we've been proactive since the 90s in helping our reefs in all ways that we can. And as such, we have become a member of Project AWARE, which stands for Aquatic World Awareness, Responsibility and Education, and is a PADI NGO where we, matter of fact, sponsor so that each of our divers gets a very special card that has, for instance, a whale shark on it or a shark on it and says Project AWARE. And so for each diver that we certify, we donate something to Project AWARE. There's not only Project AWARE, however, there are other NGOs, and one that has become very important over the years is called Greenfins. We are a top 10 Greenfins member. That means that within the whole wide world, all the members of Greenfins are judged by them. Greenfins representatives come to us, they see how sustainable we are, how sustainable is our operation when it comes to diving, when it comes to the resort, when it comes to the boat, when it comes to our briefings, that we make it clear that we don't touch, we don't take, we don't tease anything, and we protect the underwater world. And that has, as I said before, it become a primary focus of our operation, and we continue to do so.
When I came here at the tender age of 18, I had very little knowledge. So it was a really steep learning curve for myself. Luckily, I did have some friends. They were introducing me to how to look after regulators and so on. But a lot of it was trial and error for me initially. But then over the years, I attended many courses. So nowadays, I've been fixing compressors, for instance, for over 20 years. So for me to call somebody to come, it's not going to happen. So I fix it myself. So I did actually a couple of years ago. I attended the service technician for Bauer. This is a German compressor. This is actually the compressors if you want to use one. And so I know how to strip it, which I do every year. Strip it, put it together, and it's working beautifully. When it comes to regulators, there's not a regulator that I don't know how to service. So the other day we were doing this technical dive with my manager Dicky, and so he uses the Poseidon regulators, and I had little experience with it, but because the concept is all the same. So when I took this thing apart, I just looked at it, and within a couple of minutes I said, okay, that's how it works. And then I fixed it, I serviced it, and it was working beautifully. So this is it, as my father always said, he said, Zainal, I mean, this is my name, Zainal, he said, Zainal has 2 right hands, which meant, not 2 left hands, because those are the clumsy ones that have no gift. So luckily I was gifted with mechanics. I think maybe my father has a great role in this, because at early age when I was in Germany, he would always either teach me how to fix my bicycle, or he would, when he was fixing the car, I would be helping him. So I always had that interest. Why was B&J so popular? And it is because we are a family. When people came back, even after years of not being to Tioman, they felt like instantly, yes, I'm home. And it is the togetherness that we have among the team members. When people come, people get greeted by a hug. It's just not the casual. It's like instantly, you are one of us. We're sitting in the evening, chatting, having fun, enjoying it over a drink. And this is what draws people back. And this is what I've been always driving all these years to my crew members. Is like, it is even us members, we need to be close knitted, and because that is what people see. When people see that, hey, this team is having fun, I want to be part of that team. And that is really one of the success stories that we have.
You're driving me crazy. Your body's made. The way your body syncopates, you're driving me crazy. And lately I ain't thinking straight. Your body's amazing. The way your body syncopates.